Hello.
There.
We can go ahead and get started. Um, so I'd like to call our meeting to order. Well, I guess I need to
Wait
tell
a minute,
Chad.
I lost my
I need,
picture.
I need to tell Chad to record probably.
Yes, we'll be ready in about 15 seconds. Thank you.
Okay.
Did you get it, Daryl? You need help.
Yeah, well, no, I still ain't got the picture. I don't know what happened to it.
All right, I got a mask on. I'll come in there real fast.
Okay,
Just hold off a little bit, Chad.
I can hear, but I can't see.
It may be your reach, Carol.
Rajiv, you're breaking up.
Try and turn the sound up. Okay, thank you. Okay, we on now.
Okay. Um, okay, I'll call our meeting to order. This is a special call meeting today. And we are to consider facilities use requests from our Judge Executive Curtis McGee. And I will let Mr. Davis kind of take over at this time.
Okay, thank you, Chairman Rager, board members. I think we have 4 of you together today, and I know how hard it is to get you guys together. And on 24 hours notice or a little more, it's really difficult, but thanks for making it work wherever you are. You're always there when we need you. So again, I appreciate the time. I don't think Kim could make this time work, but thank goodness we can at least get a quorum in. As you know, Judge McGee has requested the use of our football stadium for the funeral for Ricky Allen. And, you know, as I've spoken to him a few times, his concerns are both spreading people out, and that whole issue is, you know, it's going to be a large funeral, and also for having a place where the issues, the traffic issues, and having to be out on roads and stuck out in there and all that was a worry as well. And so he's requested the use of the football stadium. So obviously, um, using the stadium, we have our own concerns because we have games there and we have protocols and we have all this. So, you know, we know that's an issue too. So I'm going to turn it over to Julie here in just a second. She's been talking to the health department. She's talked to the funeral home. We've been going back and forth, trying to get all this so I can bring you the correct information here because there are protocols for this in place. And we're trying to make sure everybody can meet them, and funeral home understands their responsibilities and all that. So I want to thank Julie for putting in a lot of legwork and time trying to get you the information she's about to share with you. But so I'm going to turn it over to Julie now, and she can probably answer any questions as well or better than I can for sure. So Julie, I'll turn it over to you now.
Okay. Thank you all for gathering together and having this difficult discussion. I know that Ricky is loved and cared for by many, but our main issue here is due to safety, you know, this conversation. And so just to give you an idea of some of the legwork that we have put in so far, we contacted the health department yesterday and had a conversation about the requirements for funeral and memorial services. Received a copy of that. We've reviewed that thoroughly. The date on that document is July 10th, 2020, so it's been out for quite some time. But we were able to have some good conversation with Maria from the funeral home this morning, and we reviewed that document in its entirety. I ended up emailing her a copy of a highlighted version of those requirements, and I highlighted the bullets that I felt like, you know, would really impact us at the football stadium. And that's really in context of the 50% capacity, making sure that households of people stay at least 6 feet apart. highlighting topics in there in terms of limiting the congregational singing, taking temperatures, COVID screeners, talked about restroom use, and if they choose to have restrooms available, that it would only be used one person at a time, and then cleaning and disinfecting would occur in between each use. If that is something that they choose to do, if you all vote, to allow them to use the facility. Also highlighted in here about face mask, making sure that people fully understand that whenever they're on the premises, that face masks are required, and they're not required just to get in. They're required at all times while they're on property, unless they have some type of exemption that's listed in the governor's executive order, and that's included in the documentation that was sent to the funeral home. Highlighted in here that to the greatest extent possible, that alternative sources and services be available, such as live streaming and social media broadcasts. Of course, this will all pan out in the final preparations, but things that we just need to continue to keep on the forefront of things that are required and would be helpful for our community. Some additional legwork, and if we choose to go forward and you do vote yes, I also want you to know that Donna Bumps has been busy on this too. It hasn't just been me by any stretch of the imagination, looking into lighting and cleaning and maintenance have been involved in terms of making sure things are looking neat and tidy for our area. I'm sure there are many other details that have already been decided, but I'll just stop for now and just ask if you have any questions. I'll be happy to try to find the answers for you. But I do hope you know that we have done our part, or we feel like we've done our part to make sure that we're on the same page as the funeral home.
Okay. Is there any discussion or questions for Julie?
So is the funeral home responsible for making sure that masks are worn and that type of thing?
Yeah, yes, ma'am. This would be completely overseen by the funeral home. It's everything from the PPE requirements to the temperature screenings to any kind of policing of mask wearing. That's definitely going to fall to the funeral home.
And Susan, I think that was an excellent question. We need to illustrate that. Once they use our facility, it is not our job then to like a football game is.
Right.
This is on them to do that. So a lot of the conversations have been to make sure that they understand that, which they do. But we'll be here to assist. Obviously, we will meet with them tomorrow and go over and try to make it as easy as we can. But the ultimate responsibility is certainly upon the funeral home, and I think Julie's made sure they're well aware, and we are on the same page. As I said, if they ask us to assist in any way to help with where entrances are or how this is set up, absolutely we will be there to do that. But that does fall upon them.
Thank you, and thank you, Julie, and everybody for all your due diligence on this. I know it's been tough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
I
Just
I don't think
with
we
that,
would
I'm
be
sorry.
having, go ahead.
There's such a delay. You can't tell somebody else is saying something. Do they feel they have enough staff? I mean, with this being such a large service, does the funeral home feel that they have enough staff to meet the requirements that, for the temperature screenings and all of that?
Yes, and I don't necessarily feel at liberty yet to say anything specific, but I do know we've had conversations, and she's got groups of different people lined up for different things, and I'm not sure what all's been shared with the family yet, so I think I'll not mention that, but I do feel confident. I do know that they're going to need access to our thermometers just because they're going to have so many, possibly different gates that people will come in, and that's part of what Donna has been working on, gathering up thermometers there at West Campus, and we'll mark those and make sure we have a check-in and check-out system to get back any equipment that they end up borrowing. But yes, I do feel like that they do have a good handle on the number of people that's going to be required on their part.
Okay.
And I think if there are two entrances, and if there's people monitoring at those two entrances, that should solve the issue of having how many people are not, as long as it's not wide open.
Right. Controlling the entrance to the service.
Yes, they will do something, they're very good at it. I've been to sadly, one of the funerals they handled, and although it was outdoor, not as large, but yes, they were on it, their equipment, the music guy was away from the so many feet, and video guy was so many feet, and preacher was so many feet. So they had seemed like everything pretty much organized, like I don't see in other ones like that,
Mm-hmm.
And Rajiv, that's a good point, and I know that's one thing with Judge McGee is this venue offers the ability to do a lot of that, spread folks out because of the, just the layout of the football field. You can put some chairs down, I think, so the family can be down closer on the field, and so this is a very unusual request. Obviously, this is not something we want to normally do or would do. First time the judges, I think, ever actually ask for something like that, just because of it's just an unusual event with Ricky, and he's been all over the state and he knows a lot of people knows him, and so this is unusual. And like I said, Judge McGee came with this, and I think I've talked to each of you, and like I said, it's not something we want to start doing all the time. It's not best practice to maybe do that, but it is a venue, maybe the only venue in this county that may be able to do what needs to be done in this situation. And then you add COVID to it, and so now you've got all the other things coming in as well.
That's right. Is there any other discussion? Any other questions, concerns? If not, I would need a motion to approve considering this request from the judge executive.
I'll make the motion.
I have a motion by Ms. Wells,
And
second by Mr. Johar. All right, all in favor of considering the facilities use request from Judge Executive Curtis McGee for our Sheriff Ricky Allen's funeral, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? I hear none. And we will go down to adjourning. And I'll need a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Have a motion by Mr. Bowers.
salute to.
Mr. Johar, is that a second?
Yeah, salute to.
Okay. All in favor of adjourning, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? I hear none. We're adjourned.
Thank you, each of
Thanks.
you. Thank you.
Thank you.